Welcome to a brand new series of fishing hotspots. Hi, I'm Henry Waschuk. For years, you've been watching Fish in the Flats, great shallow water fishing. But you know what? I like offshore fishing as well, and that's what this series is going to bring you. Offshore reef fishing, shallow water fishing all in one. We're going to start off this year's series right up in Jacksonville, Florida for some big, giant redfish. Stay tuned.
Fishing Hotspots with host Henry Waschuk is brought to you by Boston Whaler, the unsinkable legend. Live Target, lifelike lures. Mudhole, your one-stop shop for rod building and tackle crafting needs. And Sunset, sun and bug protection.
Oh, nice! Look at that. Look at the size of this fish. Beautiful.
We open up this year's Fishing Hotspot series with one heck of a fish, the red drum. Better known as a redfish, these guys grow big, reaching almost 100 pounds. We travel northeast to Jacksonville to fish with well-known guide Captain Steve Crowder on the St. Johns River, his favorite stomping grounds. These fish really don't care too much about structure, water depth, or water clarity. What they do care about is food, and that's exactly what we're going to give them. There'll be fishing tips, electronics know-how, and IGFA record information that will blow your mind. So sit back and relax as we bring you lots of great action and some great big fish. Coming up, powerful, strong fighting reds.
All right, baby. Like, talk about it didn't take too long, did it?
Fishing Hotspots is brought to you by Baitmaker Non-Frozen Chum. Gather and catch live baits faster with Baitmaker Chum.
Northeast Florida's St. Johns River is world famous as a top spot for catching oversized largemouth bass. And while fishing is great in the upper river where the water is sweet and fresh, it's the lower river near Jacksonville which flows into the ocean that produces the saltwater giants. How about black drum pushing 100 pounds and monster reds that reach 50 pounds? Today we head out in our Boston Whaler conquest with Captain Steve Crowder in search of these schooling reds. Once we find them, we'll anchor up and have some fun.
All I did is basically take the crab shears and I cut all the legs off the crab. I cut the horns off.
Oh yeah, you smashed it a bit too.
Smashed the top shell in a little bit to allow some more scent to escape from the shell.
Well, especially in this dirty water, yeah.
Yeah, man, you know, they're not gonna be able to see it, so we gotta give them some get a good scent trail going, you know what I mean? We may be getting hit already. It's up, get it. Fish on!
All right, baby. Like, talk about it didn't take too long, did it?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Outstanding, hey.
I tell you, we just set up the windlass, and man, oh man, got the whaler all in position. The current, you can see it's ripping. I'm talking ripping here. And this fish right away picked up on that scent. Oh, he's running drag here.
Outstanding.
I took the clicker off, but I tell you, sometimes you want to hear that sound. It's so awesome.
What's really going to make this a challenge, if this is one of those rare few that like to swim around with their mouth wide open,
Oh yeah.
make themselves like a drift chute. Big silhouette. Look at that fish. There we go. She's water skiing.
Yeah. Oh, big boy. There he is, mouth open. Good sized fish. Wow, that current.
It's almost like a stalemate, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you got to be careful here because it's just a hook too, you know. We're using light terminal tackle.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. You could see I've got my hands on the line trying to swim this fish almost like a planer board.
Tell you what, I'm gonna get out here
Okay.
And I'm gonna grab her.
Yep.
Here, I'm gonna actually hand line it over to me, okay?
Okay, I've still got tension.
I'll put her here in this nice little eddy we got behind the boat.
All right.
I got her. You
All
ready?
right.
You ready?
Yeah.
How's that for a redfish there?
All right. Tim, you can hold that rod for a minute.
Look at that.
Oh my
big girl.
goodness.
I think we got a female too.
Look at this fish.
Here you go, Tim. You got it?
Now that's a fish right there. And I'm telling you, this is on the small side. We talk about these big bruisers are in the river right now. You know, what do you think this one weighs?
I'd say she's probably about 25, 30 pounds.
Let's see what the focus says. 28.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Look at that fish. Gorgeous.
All right, what we did, we bended the fish because, you know, coming out of deeper water and fighting and taking all that oxygen in from behind the boat, mouth open's not good. And so now we've got to still get it back in the water in the current. Hey, the tide is what it is, but you can see right there. How's it look, Steve?
She's ready to go.
All right.
You ready?
Yep.
Let's go. Down she goes.
Oh, man, that was a
See?
big turn.
She's ready to roll.
Good job.
Ain't problem. Yeah.
3-minute
no problem.
fish.
This week's Fish Eye is brought to you by Ray Marine. Go hunting underwater.
One look at a redfish and you know it's built for brute strength. With its blunt face and broad-shouldered look, it's a fish that wants to fight before it's even hooked. They are exceptional fighters and can be caught year-round. Also known as red drum, these fish can exceed 40-plus pounds during the late summer when they school up and spawn. Redfish migrate. It's as simple as that. What they usually do is migrate in and out of coastal inlets in the colder months, and the St. Johns River in Jacksonville is one of those hotspots. It's interesting how the big redfish migrate in late summer in the St. Johns River. The smaller males show up first, most over slot size. They collect in huge schools. We're talking thousands of fish, and when September arrives, so do the monster bulldog reds. Locating these big fish marks is not difficult on your depth sounder. Just slow troll the shipping channel until you find a good cluster of fish. They're obviously holding there because of the current rip and incoming food from the estuaries further upriver. The key to success on this river, with lots of big ship traffic, is anchoring properly. These giant reds will move around a bit between 25 and 45 feet of water in an 8-mile stretch of the river. Landing big reds from deep water in a super strong current requires the right tackle and gear. Make sure your rod has some backbone and your drag is set to take on the fight of the fish plus the strong current. No worries about spooking these fish. These reds are using their feeding senses to locate any morsel of food, and without question, blue crab is the ticket.
That right there is what we call redfish candy. Take these claws, get rid of them.
This is ouch.
Yes, sir. You can use crab shears to do this, or you can do it with your hands. Doesn't really matter.
Oh, fish on, fish on.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, you got a bigger one this time, my man.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, you do. You're boned.
Oh, let me just get over here a bit. Okay, we'll clear that line. Oh man, that's crazy.
Man, I
You know,
can't-
we can't even work on a crab. Put that crab back. You know, we'll get it on another fish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at that
big,
head shake, buddy.
yeah, big head shakes.
Oh, man.
Okay, take the clicker off. Man, these are the canyons. See how small a reel this is? Just perfect. You know, you can handle big fish with it, but you don't have a lot of weight. When you're talking about, you know, fishing light tackle and still having a power of a reel with a good drag, this is it.
I'll tell you what, that is a nice compact reel. You can fit that thing right in the palm of your hand.
Yeah. Ooh, big
nice head
shakes.
shakes.
Yeah.
There you go, buddy.
Oh, yeah. A lot of these fish, when they school up, they're pretty well the same size. You get a single out of there that might be 40, 50 pounds. That's kind of rare because usually if they're 30, 40 pounders, you know, that's the class they're in.
You can be sitting here and looking at that fish finder, and it'll look like a red laser beam going all the way across the bottom, and it's just layers upon layers, hundreds of reds. There she is. Looks
No.
like about the same.
Yeah.
Surprised by that. That initial run was something special.
Well,
No, that fish is bigger, bud. That fish is bigger. Look at them spots on that female. Unbelievable. Oh, it's a male. Never mind. And here we go, Big Bertha. Well,
yeah.
Big Leroy, whatever. It's a male. What a fish.
Look at that baby.
That is what I call a bull red right there. If that's not a bull red, I do not know what is, man. Just kind of got him back out of the major current out here in this eddy. Keep the nose down, and she's already been vented. She's getting revived, and I'm getting ready to cut her loose. Here we go. Lock in. There we go, watch this.
Good
And
job.
she's gone.
Good job, Steve.
Coming up, great tips on catching reds.
You know, sometimes those older fish don't want to fight as hard. You'll be surprised what'll pop up.
Fishing Hotspots with host Henry Waschuk is brought to you by Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for anglers.
Redfish, like most, are creatures of habit. If we know their habits, it makes it easier to find them. Redfish tend to position themselves where tidal currents will push bait to and past them, and they feed on that bait accordingly. These redfish like to be along the edge or trough where most baits get pushed. The other nice thing about redfish is when they do get on the feed, they are aggressive, and it makes for a lot of fun. It may only last an hour or so, therefore take advantage of the feeding frenzy, keeping your baits in the water working. They'll smell them down with their key senses and give you one heck of a fight.
Oh, I got a bite.
I see it. You want us?
Sure.
Take it.
Are you kidding? You fish these fish all the day. Every day.
I'll tell you what.
Do I want the fish?
I just set this one in, and now you're making me pull it right back out of the water.
It's amazing though, you know, you fish a lot of redfish on the flats and it's nice because they make those runs and stuff, but when you get them in channel water, they just sound almost like small tunas.
There's nothing like a big redfish for somebody that wants to come up here and catch a big fight, you know, strong fight fish. And you don't have to have a whole bunch of experience to make it happen. You know, they're pretty forgiving.
Wow.
Tell you what, that fish must have made one heck of a run, dude, because you've been bringing in line for a while.
Yeah.
Come on up, big girl. That's bigger than the last one by a little bit, I think. There he goes. Look at the big copperhead. Keep walking her up like that. Don't let her go back down. Oh my God, what a pig.
Ooh, look at that big mouth open.
There she is. All right, got her. Incoming.
Hey.
Here we go.
Yeah, she's bigger and fatter for sure.
Here we go.
Not that I don't want to hold her close to my chest, but I've been slimed before.
Get a that wicked spot pattern.
Look at that. Gorgeous fish.
Tell you what, she's still very feisty.
Well, I brought her in 10 minutes.
She's looking pretty good.
Look at the thickness of their backs. Like that head is huge.
Just an absolute freight train. You ready to make her sound?
Yep.
Let's jam. Off to the races.
Hank's Tip of the Week is brought to you by Mudhole, your one-stop shop for rod building and tackle crafting needs.
All right, you can see here, like I was telling Steve, a lot of people come here and they'll fish 4 rods actually, and we've got 2. We just tried to set up a 3rd rod, and by the time we do that, we have a fish on. So we've been fishing basically 2 rods, but I said, like, you know, I would say in this current that you're gonna end up getting lines tangled because the boat just moves a foot or 2 in the current and they tangle up. And Steve says, I got a cure for that.
What we do is on the longs, we have a single 20-ouncer, and we actually fling it out, you know, cast it out a good ways. And then on the short rods, to keep our short rods from going up and tangling up in our long rods, on those I got 20. What I do is I'll take this, I got a 20 on here. Okay, you can see a big 20-ounce bank weight, right? What I do is I'll put that on there and I'll add an extra 12 or 10, just so that I have that extra weight to keep these from going and getting tangled up in my long lines. I'll 20 on, okay? And all I got here is a nice little dropper loop, so I don't have to keep tying and untying knots and re-rigging. This way everything's reusable. And I take that last one and I wrap the weight so that it can't go anywhere, and then that one slides right down next to it. And now I got, instead of having a 20 on there, I got me a nice 32 ounce rig down here.
Yeah, short lead, and these fish don't care, and you've got 2 lines out, 2 lines short, and I tell you what, you can run 4 lines and catch yourself a mess of fish. Baby, another one. Ho ho! Okay, let's get that rod out of the way.
Now,
Look at this, drag running. Must be something to do with this one. Look at that. Oh, he's still there. He was running at the boat. Took the clicker off now. Oh, he's running. Oh, there he goes. You can see from the rod tip, man. Look at that. Oh!
you gonna be all right doing 4 in a row in less than 40 minutes, my man?
This guy, head shaking.
Hell yeah.
Oh, this is an incredible fishery. You know, when you think of it, you can come here and fish with Steve from August right through till October that these fish are here. And I'm telling you, I mean.
And you know what, Henry? That's not even the only time. We actually get these giants all year round. It's just a different way that we fish for them.
Well, I remember, yeah, you told me even when we were fishing black drum.
Exactly. We could have been tearing them up out there too.
You know.
I mean, it's just, you know, depending on what time of the year, the way we fish for them changes a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
and that's really all it is.
This guy's staying down.
I'll tell you what, that says a lot about this fish, because usually the smaller guys will come right up to the surface and give
Yeah.
up. You know, you could very well have a monster on here and just, you know, sometimes those older fish don't want to fight as hard. You'd be surprised what'll pop up and scare you every now and then.
You think this fish didn't fight hard? I'm picking up when you pick up a rod and your hand's going like this, I'm going like, what is that? Old age, or is just that, you know, I've run out of adrenaline, you know, man.
Well, okay, let me correct that. You might have a big one that's not fighting characteristically like a bigger one.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Tell you, he's just dogging it, staying down. You gotta be careful not to high stick too much. You know, I tell people as well, it's not just having great reels, but you know, I started working with Mudhole years ago, and I didn't know they're the largest.
Here we go. There she is.
Yeah, largest online company for making your own rod. And I tell you, since all the people I've met, people are now starting to make their own rods because they know what they want, they know the length, they know the type of action they want, and it doesn't cost that much more. And I tell you, and it's just a personal satisfaction of having those 4 rods or whatever you've got in the boat that are all custom.
I'll tell you what, this is one lit up redfish, lots of spots from what I could see just now.
Just a second, Steve.
Yeah, you got a second on this one.
He's still dogging it, so see if I can get him up to the top and get a look at it.
Right there, going in the motor, be careful.
I'm gonna wait. Yeah, come on up to the top.
You see all the blue on the tip of that tail fin? It's
Yeah.
all lit up. It's a gorgeous
Okay.
fish. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
See the spots I was talking about? Look at that tail.
That's a beautiful fish.
Yes, it is.
You just appreciate, even though that water's stained, you know, you appreciate how beautiful those fish are, fighting in that current and giving us a lot of baby redfish for
come
future
on.
generations. Here you go.
I thought you were calling this a baby redfish.
No.
All right, here we go.
Oh, it's got nice deep golden colors.
All right, she's ready. Ready?
Yep.
Incoming.
Oh,
Another
look
nice
how
fish.
golden those fins are.
I'll tell you
look
what.
at that. Look at that pectoral fin right there. You go all the way down. That golden sheen goes all the way down, and look at right across that dorsal fin, and those beautiful markings. Oh my goodness.
What about that eye? I mean, look how perfectly clean that fish is.
Oh.
No flaws whatsoever.
Wow. Look at the size of this fish. Man, Steve, great job bending it. Okay, let's get her in. We're not keeping these fish too long out of the water. Man, oh man. What a fishery you have here, Steve.
I tell you, man, we're really blessed to have these big reds like this. And I mean, like I said before, all year round you can target these big things. And I'll tell you, they never disappoint. They never disappoint.
Well, that's
Fantastic fish. I think she's about ready, fellas.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep. Let her
Go make us some more, big girl. She's going. There she goes. She's down.
Coming up, IGFA record redfish catches.
Oh, it's
How
beautiful.
about that for North Carolina?
Good job, Henry.
This portion of Fishin' Hotspots is brought to you by the IGFA, the home of world record fish.
Redfish are one of the most popular game fish along the southeast Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico. The fact that they are spirited fighters that can attain sizes over 50 pounds has certainly made a mark in many anglers' lives, including Henry, who tackled this 52-pound giant in North Carolina.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get him up. Are you about ready?
I don't think he is, Henry. He'll be ready once he comes up on the side. He's ready, Henry. Try to get his head up for me. Open up. Open up.
Come on, baby.
Open up.
Make sure it's good. All right, we got a landed monster redfish. Man, oh man. Look at this redfish. Oh, look at, oh my. Where's your face?
Oh, it's
How about that for North Carolina?
Good job, Henry.
Man, oh man.
Beautiful
Now
fish.
that's a redfish.
That is.
Not far from this spot back in November 1984, David Dool landed his world record catch from the beach, which inhaled a complete mullet he was using for bait. 45 minutes later, he beached this 57-inch monster. With a girth of 38 inches, he knew it was big, but was astonished when it tipped the scales at 94 pounds 2 ounces. Truly an amazing catch. The International Game Fish Association record book shows that North Carolina is by far the best producer of world record redfish with 18. Louisiana comes in second with 9, then Virginia with 5, and Florida and Texas are tied with 2 records each. No matter where you fish, hooking and landing redfish, big or small, will make your day.
Well, how about those redfish? Awesome or what? You know, if you want to catch some big fish, St. Johns River in Jacksonville is a beautiful area of Florida. You know, Captain Steve Crowder, he knows his stuff. I love to fish with him every time I go up there. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week on another great episode of Fishing Hotspots.
Don't miss next week as we head to Panama City in Florida's Panhandle to hunt down the classic red snapper and AJs. And we're talking about some big boys.
Look at that. That's a beauty.
Closed captioning has been provided to you by Gasparilla Marina. Fishin' Hotspots with host Henry Waschuk was brought to you by Boston Whaler, Live Target, Mudhole, and Sunset.
Oh, nice! Look at that. Look at the size of this fish. Beautiful.